Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at TGO, or Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. And real quick, we were supposed to, I was going to do a webinar tonight at 9 o'clock for one of my strategic partners, and they kind of fell on the sword, so to speak, and forgot to email. And I ended up blasting out on social media that, hey, webinar tonight to invite some folks. We're not going to do it because it seems like a bunch of my normal members showed up, and we just had our regular live trade brief today. So the webinar for 9 o'clock tonight is canceled, and my strategic partner said they would they'd go ahead and re-email, so we'll get that rescheduled. Real quick, if you are one of my potential coaching clients, we need to either talk on the phone today or tomorrow or via email to let me know if you're in for either the Commanding Officers Club or the Commodores Club, or just individual one-on-one coaching, which we do as well. And they kind of get discounted a little more that you go up in time. So make sure you watch the replay, and I'll also post this in today's replay as well. Today we had a great session. We talked about our Amazon bull put spread. That is up about $1,900, 35% in a week. We put on an Amazon bull put spread last week, all the way down here where at 1930, where it bottomed out, and here we are. I think we were up at 2007 earlier at the open, man. So this thing is off to the races. Next stop, it'll be 2050. It'll be up here again, especially as we get closer to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu Grip, Christmas or Kwanzaa or Winter Solstice, whatever the hell you celebrate there. So great 1 week trade on Amazon, no changes to that. And we also looked at closing out an existing bear call spread on FXI. Even though we got a little bit of a pop today in FXI in China, we're going to talk about that in a minute here. But for my private coaching clients, I'd be looking at this trade. It's a tight iron condor. I just covered it in the Analyze Your Trade and Debrief session. It's kind of a tight one, but we're risking, it's out the next Friday, and I'll tell you why it's tight. We're risking about 53 to potentially make about 23. The initial price was up here at, I was looking to get 15 cents right about here. So yeah, risking 53 to potentially make 23. So if you're one of my private clients in the Commanding Officers Club, we'll talk about that trade during our coaching call tomorrow. But here's what's going on, folks, is China is doing a little, first of all, John Kerry is breaking the law. He's violating the Logan Act by meeting with Iranian heavies to try and salvage the nuke deal that the president scrapped. That's a felon. He's committing a felony, folks. Jeff Sessions, are you like Weekend at Bernie's? Are you alive? Are you and Ruth Bader Ginsburg like in a closet somewhere? The man is breaking the law. You're not allowed to do this. But John Kerry, you know, it's only illegal when Republicans do things. But Hillary, Obama, John Kerry, nobody cares. U.S. destroyer enters Mediterranean as Syria tensions build. We got a carrier on standby. Folks, guess what? We always have carriers on standby, baby. 75% of this big blue marble is water, and we're always ready, man. I'm pretty sure Donald J. Trump wants to get these puppies airborne. Brand new JSF, Joint Strike Fighters, the F-35s. I think he's going to pound Syrian positions into the dirt along with Russian positions to prove that their little S-500 whatever it is, air defense system, can't see these. Israel's been flying these over Iran with the vaunted Russian air defense system. They haven't seen one of them. You haven't heard that from me. But here, so good article one of my members sent me from down under, Graham. He's down in Australia. China's debt to GDP ratio has reached 257%. This was in October of 2017. I think it's over 300 now. This is actually old news. But why, well, Wiz, why is FXI up today? Well, first of all, notice FXI has been in a horrible downtrend. And then it does what? Pop, 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 and then drop, drop, drop. PBOC, the People's Bank of China, got involved in capitalism here. And then the market says, oh, wait, that's not good. If they're getting involved, it's got to be worse than expected, and then sells off. PBOC again injects liquidity into the market. Short-term sugar high, and then the market goes, it must be really, really bad. This rally was on the president in the middle of August saying, you know what, huge talks. Nobody does talks bigger than me. Let's talk trade with China. Love you guys. Big rally, and then this drop right here was they left the meeting and couldn't even agree that the table was round. Well, why did pop, Wiz? That's the day that the president called the president of Mexico. Great deal. NAFTA gone. Mexico trade deal. Awesome. Huge. But no trade deal with China. And then the FXI has imploded again. So I can map to the day every one of the price movements in China. What happened today? The president has given China an off-ramp. He's got $200 billion in tariffs sitting right on the aircraft carrier catapult and is ready to push the button. What happened? He said, hold your fire. He said, and Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, said, hey, let's throttle back a little bit. China has welcomed an offer from the Trump admin to talk trade despite a U.S. threat to impose steep new tariffs. So he's kind of taken his finger off the button, but that doesn't mean that all is well. Earlier this week, the president China started doing what? Not accepting new business applications from any American companies, denying licenses, doing all sorts of crazy shit. And then yesterday said, hey, you know what? Sorry about those past 2 days. We want you guys back. They are confused, folks. They have no idea which way's up with this guy, with President Trump, which is awesome in negotiations. The guy is good. If you haven't read The Art of the Deal, you have no idea what's going on. Or you watch MSNBC and you're convinced that Donald Trump created Hurricane Florence, right? This is disgusting. I told you last week these people committed perjury. Well, actually, these people didn't because Google didn't show up to testify. Remember when, what's his name? Man bun, soy boy vegan, Jack Dorsey from Twitter sat in front of the House and the Senate and lied, and then Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook sat in front of the Senate and lied. We don't censor conservative voices, and we're blah, blah, blah. Well, one of the heroes of Benghazi got censored the day after, a couple days after Dorsey's testimony for criticizing President Obama. Boom, 12 hours in the penalty box. What happened? This video leaked yesterday, folks. This video is the Google CFO and all the CEO, and they were crying. They are on tape crying that Hillary Clinton lost. Anybody know who this is? What's his name? Eric Schmidt? Eric Schmidt. Nice German-sounding name. Eric Schmidt was one of the biggest campaign bundlers for Hillary Clinton. So you're going to tell me that Google, with a straight face, comes out and says there's no bias in our company, no political bias? Are you shitting me? It's a joke. It actually isn't a joke, folks. It absolutely is the truth, and they're lying to us. So I absolutely have gone unlibertarian and demand government intervention in this. It is the public square. One of my good friends in South Florida, Drea Vernaza, had her Facebook account deactivated last night. 4,000 friends. She makes me look like a liberal. She posts pro-Donald Trump stuff every day and this and that. She's phenomenal. From Brazil, moved here like 13 years ago. She's more American than I am. I'm not kidding you. Loves this country. Booted from Facebook. You want to talk about interference in an election? It is coming from Americans. I don't give a shit what China does. We screw in people's elections. We've gone to war because of other countries' elections. We do this stuff. Why do you think the CIA exists, folks? Are you new? We are having domestic interference in our elections, ladies and gentlemen, and it is unsatisfactory and un-American. And everything bad that happens to these companies, if you're investing in them and you're long, I hope you lose every red penny to your name. I told you, as this imploded, if it finds a ledge, now it's time for another bearish double vertical. This company is awful. The man's a liar. They banned conservative voices. They've banned me. I've been put in Twitter jail. I also, in the blink of an eye, overnight, lost 400 followers. Nice, weird, round number, isn't it? And I don't think it's 400 followers that didn't like me posting pictures of my son at Norwich University. Okay? So don't preach to me anything other than these people are lying. And even Amazon, my loved, beloved Amazon that's been printing us money, is starting to ban books. Controversial books. Well, who determines if they're controversial? Amazon. And people in the Bay Area. You know, that liberal, or I'm sorry, conservative bastion, right? San Fran feces. I've had it, guys. This is ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to get off my rant here. Nice little pop out of Raytheon. on the potential strike into Syria. I think it's going to happen. I think Assad is going to tug on Superman's cape again, and Trump's going to pound the shit out of Russian and Syrian positions. That is going to cause volatility to spike and the market to pull back. We're looking for an excuse to sell off here. And vol being down here at $12.50 with everything going on in the world is incredibly cheap. All it takes is one tweet about China talks or 56 cruise missiles in the air, and volatility is going to go through the roof. So make sure you watch yesterday's replay from accelerated retirement. Okay. Other than that, man, I'm cautiously bullish. This is a hold your nose rally. We're going to keep going higher until, you ready for this blinding piece of brilliance? Something bad happens. And it is going to happen. Every one of these rallies, we've seen it pause, and we're getting back up here again. So it's time to hedge, okay? All right, folks, I got to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. And I'll be back with Friday's market wrap-up.